Aloha kako, this is Aunty Alex here at Keiki and Plow. I was just working in the field and noticed that some of our beets and carrots are ready to get harvested. So I thought I'd show you how to harvest them, and then we're gonna take them back to my house and figure out how we can cook them. All right, so right over here we have a row of beets right next to our row of carrots. And we're gonna go ahead and start to look through this row of carrots and figure out which ones are ready to get pulled out of the ground. Okay, so this is right at the start of the row, and I just pulled back these carrot tops and noticed that some of these carrots look like they're ready to go. One way you can tell right away is by just looking at the top of the carrot. I like to wait until they're about an inch wide on the top, the part that you can see. And then that's how I know that this carrot is probably ready to go. So one tricky thing with root veggies in terms of harvesting is that they can sometimes get kind of stuck in the ground, especially if they're close to another root veggie. So you just have to be careful and use gentle hands when harvesting. So I'll show you how to do that right now. So as you can see right here, these carrots are pretty close together. So I'm gonna try to pull this one just because it's further apart from this one. See how these two are super close, they're touching. This one's a little further and I feel like it'll be easier to take out. So what I do is I grab the top and I make sure I grab the actual carrot and not just the greens. And I just start to wiggle it a little bit, and that just gets the soil around it loose enough that you can just pull it out. So this carrot is kind of small, but still definitely big enough that it's gonna be super sweet and super yummy. So one thing that can happen when harvesting carrots is that the top comes off, but the carrot stays in the ground. And that might happen if you're like grabbing another carrot and you accidentally grab the top of another one and pull too hard. So this carrot looks like it's ready to go and it doesn't have the top, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out as well. And you do the same thing where you wiggle and then gently pull it out. And look at that, this carrot is really big and beautiful, and without the top we might not have noticed that it was there. So I like to pull these out right away when I accidentally pull off the top. I quickly harvested a couple more carrots, and we're gonna go ahead and add this to our harvest for the day and then move on to harvesting beets. So we're over here now at our bed of beets that we have growing. I love beets. Beets are my favorite vegetable. I love them so much that I actually have a tattoo of one, and you can ask me about that next time you see me. But I love beets because that was the first thing that I farmed when I started farming a couple years ago, and that's how I knew that I wanted to have a career in food and food systems, so they have a special place in my heart. So we're gonna go ahead and harvest these. Harvesting beets is a lot like harvesting carrots in that you can look at the bottom of the greens that are on top and gauge how big the beet is and if it's ready to go. I think the thing that's easier about harvesting beets is that when beets are growing, their root pops out of the ground more than the carrots do, so you can actually see almost the full beet here. It probably goes a little bit further down, but you can see that this beet, it's about maybe the size of my palm, and it looks like it's ready to go. So same with carrots. To harvest beets, you just kind of gently pick up the actual root, the actual beet, and you wiggle it and just pull it out. This one's a little bit muddy, but you can see that this is a pretty good sized beet. The greens are looking beautiful. Once we wash this off, we'll really see how purple this one is. All right, I got my beets and I got my carrots. So we're just gonna go over to the wash station that we have here at the farm, and I'm gonna just do a quick rinse of them before I put them in my car and take them home. After a quick little shower, our beets and carrots are looking really great. You can see that I washed most of the dirt off these beets, and you can see how beautiful purple they are and how orange and cute these carrots are. I am leaving the tops on. I'm gonna go ahead and make something, I'm not sure what yet, out of the tops. If you're over here and you harvest carrots or beets and you don't think you're gonna cook with the tops and you'd rather not have to carry around the extra weight, feel free to pull them off and give them to the check-in stand, and we will either feed them to our goats or our chickens or throw them in our compost pile. Okay, I got my baskets of beets and carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my little car, and we're gonna head on home so I can show you guys how to roast them.